This is the Horse Radio Network. This is episode number 166 of the Stable Scoop radio show on the Horse Radio Network. Farriers Among Feathers. Please support our sponsors as they make this show possible. Equestrian Collections at equestriancollections.com. You can find Uncle Jimmy's at uncle-jimmy's.com and Kentucky Performance Products at kppusa.com.
Welcome to the Stable Scoop, with weekly shows delivered right to you. With Helena and Glenn the Geek, live from the stable, it's every week. Bring you the news through hail or high water, while using their tails as their own fly swatters. So sit on down and laugh till you poop, cause it's time again for Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop. Stable Scoop.
This is Glenn the Geek.
And this is Helena B., and you're listening to the Stable Scoop radio show on the Horse Radio Network.
Well, howdy, Helena.
Well, howdy, Glenn.
Back
How
for
are you?
Another week of fun.
We are. I almost didn't make it this week.
I know. You're just trying to ruin my day.
I know. I feel so bad. You know it's bad when somebody sends you an email with the words, uh-oh, in the subject line.
Yes, especially you. Because
I
that
know.
means I can't make it today. Something happened.
It's been really tough. It's been really tough. I go to physical therapy an hour away, and it's like an hour and a half of PT. So I'm losing like 10 hours a week, you know, just going back and forth to physical therapy. So everything else has to be fit into, you know, the rest of the time, including the farrier who was supposed to come today and unfortunately had to cancel.
Of course. That's what farriers do.
But
they postpone and ruin the rest of your day, and then they wait 3 hours and they cancel.
However, this guy was great because he called. Not only did he call to say he was going to be late, he called back to say then he was going to be late, and can we reschedule for Sunday? So I give him credit for calling. A lot of guys just don't show up, or they show up 8 hours late.
Right. Yeah, well, that's good. So at least, you know, what did they do before cell phones?
I don't know.
They must have went into the house and called, you know.
A lot of people died young from stress.
Does it seem like 100 years ago when we didn't have cell phones?
It seems like 100 years ago. I remember my first one. It was a big Motorola.
I had the same one, the bag. Did you have the bag?
No, I never used the bag.
I didn't have the bag phone.
You had the bag phone?
I was before you. I had the bag phone that you put in your car. The phone was actually in this case.
The car phone. I remember that.
It was so damn big.
I remember them. I did not have one at the time. Well, you know, you're a few years older than me, so you were in that buying.
And I was working in sales, outside sales then. So, you know, as an outside salesman, I wanted the first one.
Yes. No, I had the, it was a Motorola, looked like a boat, looked like something you would play Battleship with.
That's right. That's true. We come a long way.
And now my phone is so tiny, I can't even find it in my tiny little purse.
I know. And now that your phones have more computing power than your computer does.
And it's funny because it when it rings, it's in my bag, and it's so small I can't find it, but it lights up, so my whole bag glows. I still can't find it.
Well, we have some fun for everybody today because we have a champion on. We have a girl named coming up a little bit later called Courtney Casey, and I think she's a teenager. We're going to find out, but I don't think she's very old.
So let's call her a young woman.
And she just won the North American High Point Championship with her, and I know you love these.
Oh, my gosh. And the more I see them, the more I love them. With her 3-year-old gypsy stallion named Diesel.
He is pretty. Now, one of the things we've done shows on gypsy vanners before, and this particular gypsy seems to be more drafty than the others I've seen. You know, really built like a draft horse.
Well, I think there's Courtney is with Feathered Gold Stables, and on their website they actually describe there's like a collection of gypsy horses. So you got the Gypsy Cob, the Gypsy Vanner, the Irish Cob, Tinker, Traveler's Horse. So I think maybe these subsets of gypsy horses might have different features, such as one being more drafty or finer boned than the other.
Well, how would you like to take care of those manes and tails, which come down to the ground?
I love it because I love manes and tails and feathers. And
How much show sheen? You think you'd have to buy stock in show sheen?
I would come up with something homemade that would probably, because there would be, I would be out there all the time. I want one so bad.
I want
one so bad. Just to have, this is like, I'm a really economical person and I'm pretty, like, I don't believe in breeding dogs or cats for sale. You know, go to the shelter, adopt, go to your equine rescue, get a horse. But there's a small part of me that secretly wants two things. I want a totally tricked out, blinged out, pimped up Cadillac Escalade to pull my horse trailer with. I don't know why, I just do. I'm not like that, but I do. And I want a gypsy horse in my backyard that I can ride.
There you go.
Those might be my two luxury items if I ever win the lottery.
There you go. Hey, instead of the Escalade, I have an alternative for you. We had the guy on we had the national sales director for Jeep on with us last week on the morning show.
Yeah.
Because we just bought a Jeep, so we got him on. And he's a horse guy. You should hear all of the cool stuff that they have in the Grand Cherokee now. In the upper level Grand Cherokee, they have a system that raises it and lowers the vehicle by 11 inches.
Wow.
So when you want to get out of the car, you can lower it down and let your mother out, and she doesn't have to step it down like that. Or if you're off-roading, you can raise it up the whole 11 inches. Or you can use the automatic backup system to the hitch that will automatically back you up to the hitch, lower the car below the hitch level, and then raise it back up onto the hitch.
Holy cow.
Yes. I know. I was like, I didn't know they had that. We bought the wrong one.
Yeah, but does it have enough engine power to pull a solid 2-horse trailer?
Oh yeah, we're using it for ours. Jennifer is hauling with ours, and ours our Liberty doesn't pull as much as the Grand Cherokees, and we're hauling a 2-horse trailer with 2 horses in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to take another look at the Jeep then.
Yeah,
but I
Jeeps are definitely an interesting critter when it comes to hauling. Go back and listen to last Thursday's Horses in the Morning, and you'll hear him talk. It was fascinating, actually. He's a neat guy. But anyway, that's off the topic. I'm sorry.
That is off the top. Well, I took you there. Sorry. Anyway, so, Cadillac, gypsy horse, same thing.
Same thing. And we're going to talk to them in just a minute. I have my tech pick of the week, which is going to be pretty quick, but very helpful. Speaking of farriers. But first, we're going to talk about blankets and more blankets, because it's that blanket time of year. You need new blankets. You know what? We had speaking of the morning show, we had a guy on today talking about blankets. He's the blanket cleaner, the official blanket cleaner here in Kentucky. He cleans all the blankets for the big Ritchie Farms.
Yeah,
and he was talking
the big
about
Ritchie
blankets,
Farms.
and he said, once your blanket, it sits around, you should have brought it in the spring because you didn't, and you left it sit around just like we did, and I'm sure you did, and you let it sit around all summer, and it grew bacteria, and all those little bacteria guys are eating their way at the blanket, and that's going to cause your blanket to biodegrade even faster. So your blanket stinks, and it smells bad, and it's got holes in it now because you didn't take care of it.
Blah, 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 blah. Get a new one.
Though, because you know what? We didn't do ours either. So poor Beaker, we had to get his blanket washed right now, and he's waiting for it. So you want to take a look at a new blanket, you need to go to equestriancollections.com, because they have over 20 different manufacturers of blankets right on their website. You can find a blanket that fits your horse, that fits your horse's needs. Like Beaker has certain needs because he's a quarter horse and has that funny quarter horse chest, and it needs a different kind of neck hole, so there's a certain kind of blanket we get him in that. We can find that at Equestrian Collection. Matter of fact, I think Jennifer just ordered one. So it's that time of year. It's 40 degrees, pouring down rain here for the last 2 days in Lexington. People are starting to think about waterproof blankets. You're going to find the blanket that you need at the price you can afford at equestriancollections.com. Buy it today. Well, my tech pick of the week, Helena, is a website I came across called efarriers.com. Have you ever heard of that one?
No, this is new to me.
Okay, speaking of farriers, you have a good farrier. He called and all that stuff. But if you got a crappy farrier that you're just sick of and you got to get rid of that guy, he's just been a pain, or that woman. Well, you can now go to efarriers.com, and that is your official farrier partner. And that's sort of like having a farrier in your pocket. Well, more like having a farrier in your computer.
I would like to have a farrier in my pocket.
Now, be good. You know,
I know I meant that in a good way.
well, I'm just saying that because, a lot of women fall in love with their farriers. I don't know what
I
it
know,
is
it's
about
true.
farriers. Is it because they bend over a lot?
It's the drama. No, it's the women like bad boy syndrome. Bad
Well,
boy.
they all are, too. And these women are falling for farriers who are, well, we won't get into that because
Yeah,
there's no
but some-
category for that under efarrier.com, whether they're hot or not.
No, but we do have it under Hottest Horseman. We had Hottest Farrier.
Oh,
Remember?
that's true. And you know what? There's
What?
that Facebook page for the farrier butts.
Is there? There's a Facebook page.
Yeah, you look up farrier butts under Facebook, and there's a whole Facebook page dedicated to women posting pictures of their farriers bending over.
No way.
No, I'm not kidding. There is. It has like 4,000 fans. There's a whole bunch of pictures.
Oh, I don't. Oh, I, oh.
Now, okay, don't
Sorry
go
about
there
that.
now. You'll be distracted the rest of the show. We won't get anything done.
Okay.
efarriers.com.
Why do you do that to me then?
It's a new website.
Why do you do that? You tell me exactly how to go, how to get there, and then you tell me don't go
Don't
there.
go there. Don't go there now. Go there later. So the efarriers.com is a website that was put together to help you find a farrier. It's basically a farrier yellow pages. It's a farrier finder. And you can put in your state or your city or your zip, and it's brand new. Now, I don't think it's populated the way they would like it to be populated yet. But the one thing that impressed me about this site, one is it's a great service because you're always looking for a farrier. Two is they give a lot of information on the farriers on the individual bio pages for the farrier. And it says whether they're accepting clients, what type of shoeing they do. It has all of that on their bio pages. And I think as they get this populated and they get it more filled out, it's going to be an invaluable resource for horse owners who are always constantly looking for a new farrier, it seems like. But the other thing I liked is this is and you're a web designer, this is a very professionally done site.
It is.
They put some money in. This wasn't just thrown up there. They put some money into this one. So I was kind of impressed with that. And, I don't know where it's going to go. We'll see how it populates out. Keep it on your radar. Check it out. efarriers.com is my tech pick of the week.
It's actually been bookmarked, and I will go back to it occasionally. Like I go back to ratemyhorsepro.com.
Yes.
Remember we teach them? And so the sites do get populated, and I like to click around because the more you click, the easier it is for these companies to recruit more members. And then, it's like this cycle. The more members they have, the more visitors they'll get. The more visitors they'll get, the easier it is to get members.
Sort of like that saddle site, which I'm trying to remember the name.
Yeah. My Saddle Trader.
My Saddle Trader, right.
Yeah.
Which from the time we looked at it last year to this year had, 12,000 saddles on it. So
Yeah. And I think there's going to be a lot of companies coming to the internet as in these directories, like these specialized directories. So someone who's looking for saddles, someone like Dream Horse started the whole thing with horse shopping. And then now you have Saddle Trader for saddle shopping, Farriers, Rate My Horse Pro for horse professionals. I think that we'll see, a lot of people rush to this space, and then only the really good ones, the real valuable, effective ones will stick around. So I think this one is one of those that will end up sticking around because it is so well done. It's well thought out. The user interface is fabulous. It's so easy to use.
Good. So that's efarriers.com. Check it out, everybody. Well, next we have coming up our guest who we're going to introduce here in a minute. Our guests, we actually have two of them. And I'm excited to have them on. I love gypsy banners, gypsies, just like we were talking about earlier. And I know you do too. So why don't you introduce our guest, and then guests. Sorry, I keep saying there's going to be two of them. So
there's going to be two of them, and we'll start with the younger of the two. We're going to have Courtney Casey on, and her best bud is this gorgeous fellow named Diesel, and he's a gypsy horse. Now, Courtney, she's an interesting young woman. Courtney Casey, she was born in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. She's not that old. She was born in 1993, so she's a youngster. And she started riding by the time she was 3 years old. So when she reached 15, Courtney wasn't...
18?
She's 18. Do the math.
I'm trying to.
Yes, 17, 18 and a half.
Okay, I used to be an investment guy. I think I could add my head.
I can't do multiple calculations. I can't think and do math at the same time.
Okay, well, go ahead. Sorry.
All right. So anyway, by the time she was 15, Courtney wasn't just riding, she was training horses as well. And that's when she began her life with feathered gold and gypsy horses. Now, she's done 100% of the training with Diesel. And he's 3 years old. He was imported in utero from England. What does that mean, in utero? So he was imported with his mother?
Yeah, I don't know what that exactly
She was in
means
full.
in this case. In utero, doesn't that mean in the uterus?
That's what I thought. So how do you import it in utero? Okay, we'll have to talk about that.
Okay, maybe it came over in mom.
In mom, which...
But I've never heard it quite put this way.
Me either, exactly. I'll take your baby, but, if you're the carrying case, that's fine. I'll take you too. So anyway, Courtney is solely responsible for his training, and with less than 60 days of that training, together, Courtney and Diesel headed for their first show ever at the Heartland Fall Classic in Danville, Indiana. And at that show, they were awarded High Point Champion and Reserve Champion Stallion. So that's not too shabby for the first go-around.
Not shabby at all.
Right? Needless to say, their second and third shows proved equally successful, with the title Grand Champion popping up again and again. So today we're having Casey on. She's going to talk about her biggest win with Diesel so far. And as you said earlier, that's the North American High Point Championship. Welcome to Stable Scoop, Courtney. We are so glad you can make it with us today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Now, your Diesel is 3 years old, and he's a stallion. And
Yes.
do you own him?
No, I work for Denise, and she owns him.
Okay. And how old was Diesel when you first met him?
He was 3. I met him probably 2 months ago, 2.5.
So your relationship with him is still pretty new.
Yes.
And already you're racking up all these ribbons.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute. You got the North American High Point Championship, and you only known him for a couple of months?
Yes.
Holy smokes.
Well, I know. Well, did you
know
listen
what
to
I
the
think,
intro?
Helena? She's an overachiever.
Or he's a very trainable young man.
Yes, he is.
He is pretty easy to work with. Have you, before Diesel came along, had you done any work with, any training work with gypsy horses?
Yes, I trained quite a few horses for Denise before that.
And were you a little intimidated by, but was Diesel totally green? Was he even backed yet when you started him?
He knew some stuff from previous owner, but he hasn't been worked with several months before we got him, so he was still pretty green to everything.
And were you at all intimidated by taking on this
No.
project?
He didn't act like a stallion or anything. He was a very good boy.
He is built like a tank. I'm sitting here looking at a picture of him, and he's very drafty looking.
Yes.
How big is he? How tall is he?
15 something. Denise knows exactly what he is.
Well, we'll tell everybody about Denise in just a minute, because actually a big part of your story here with Diesel is Feathered Gold Stables, and
Yes.
that's where Diesel lives, and I'm sure where you pretty much live too. I'm sure you spend most of your time there.
Yeah.
But besides, tell us a little bit about what type of competition you're in with this horse, because High Point Champion, is that hunt seat? Is it in hand? What does that entail?
We do hunt seat, western, and halter pleasure. So you just make them jog and look pretty, more or less. And for halter, you just set them up, and it shows how well built they are and everything like that, how good of conformation they have.
And when they're in hand, is it just like halter? Can you bling them out? I mean, they're already pretty fancy, Do you?
I don't know what you'd do to bling them out.
Yeah.
Well, can you braid and can you
could
put
cover a gypsy in Sikorsky crystals and nobody would notice?
That would be awesome. I'm such a girly girl. If I had one of these horses, it would be a shame. I'm sure gypsy breeders would look the other way. And
Yeah.
because I would put crystals in their manes. So there's a lot that goes into the training, because again, it's not just mounted stuff. It's in hand work. What specifically, because all gypsy horses are so stunning.
Yeah.
How do you set yourself apart from the rest of the crowd?
Just work with them a lot and make sure they're always clean and stuff. That's how we get noticed.
So just like any other show, if your turnout and how you work with each other, your relationship. Do you ever get when you're showing? Are there ever pairs that are unruly, or is everybody pretty much well behaved?
Everyone's pretty much well behaved. I don't think I've seen a single gypsy yet that hasn't been. So
We have a saying here at the Horse Radio Network that you never want to be that girl. That girl. Have you ever been that girl at a show?
I don't think so.
What do you mean by that girl?
The one that has the horse
know.
the one that has the horse that's totally out of control and just is that girl,
I haven't.
you know?
Well, that's part of the gypsy personality. That's what makes them so wonderful. They have really good temperaments, right?
They're very calm, yes.
Which is actually this might be a good time to introduce Denise Krause. Now, Denise is the owner of Feathered Gold Stables, and that's in Ogdensburg, Wisconsin. Denise, welcome to the Stable Scoop Show.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
So you're no stranger to gypsies. I mean, Diesel isn't the only gypsy horse in your barn, is he?
No, he's not. We have about 35 on the farm right now,
Wow.
and depending on the time of year, whether foals are being born and that type of thing, we go up to 45 to 50.
Holy smokes. I just did a calculation. That's like 25 miles of Maine.
25 thousand. So you have some extras you
25
can
to
spare?
30.
Yeah. Do you guys buy stock? Do you buy what kind of Maine conditioner do you use? Because you must buy it by the case.
We actually use products that are pretty basic and simple, the same types of things they use on these horses over in Europe, which they call it pig oil over there, but we call it mineral oil here, or baby oil.
Told you, Glenn.
So
See?
you don't have
Simple
cases
homemade
of
stuff.
Shoshin in the back?
No.
Okay.
And looking at that picture you've probably seen of Courtney and Diesel, that horse has no show sheen on him whatsoever. That is all natural shine.
Wow.
Elbow grease. That's
Elbow grease.
dedication.
Courtney's got some big elbows.
So with all these beautiful babies at your farm, is it true then that gypsy horses are known for their wonderful temperaments? Are they pretty laid back animals?
They are. I have people who contact me who say, "Oh, I saw the gypsies and they're just beautiful, and I'm real interested because they're beautiful." And what we always say back to that is they are pretty and they are beautiful, but what sets them apart to us, or did when we got into it, was the personality. They are much like a big dog. They bond with the people that work with them like a dog. They do really well off praise. A lot of good boys and good girls, and they'll do just about anything for you once they make that bond. They really are different than any other equine I've ever been around.
And how are they in the barn? Are they easy keepers, or despite their mane?
They're sometimes a little too easy of a keeper. The breed was derived over in Europe, and the gypsy caravans and wagons would travel. So at night they would eat whatever they could find in the ditches while the caravans were parked. They can gain weight off of just about anything. Like I said, sometimes it's a little bit too easy of a keeper, and we get some pretty plump girls around here.
Yeah, I have one of those in my barn. It's hard to put them on a diet. I mean, I can't even stand a diet myself, let alone put my horse on a diet. So easy keepers. What about their feet? Do they have like draft type feet? Do they need any particular special care?
No, their feet don't need any special care. The hoof size is kind of between a quarter horse and a Clydesdale, about halfway in between. So they're bigger feet than what you'd see on the light-boned animals because they are a draft breed, but they're not as big as your 16, 17, 18-hand Clydesdales and Percherons and those types.
Right.
So they would be what I would consider a small draft.
Yes, they are categorized as a small draft horse.
Now,
Okay.
I do have a question. There are, and I noticed this on your website, there are many different kinds of gypsies. There are gypsy banners and several different other kinds of gypsies. The one that, Diesel, what kind is Diesel?
Well, there's actually, when you say there's several different kinds of gypsies, there's actual several different names for the same horse and the same breed.
Okay.
So Diesel is registered as a gypsy vanner with the Gypsy Vanner Horse Society, but the wording gypsy cob, gypsy horse, tinker horse, all those wordings have been used for this exact same horse.
Okay.
So we
A
wouldn't
little
be.
confusing to the public. Down to there's more than one registry out there, and each registry kind of has its own name.
Oh, okay.
The one
but we
we're
wouldn't
familiar
be
with is Gypsy Vanner. That's the one.
because the Gypsy Vanner Horse Society.
Right.
Yes, and the Gypsy Vanner Horse Society was the first established registry in the United States, and the person who established the registry, Dennis Thompson, was the first person to import Gypsy Vanners to the U.S. back in November of '96. And the other registries have come up since then. Over in England, they just call them cobs. And here we look at a cob as a size of horse, not a type or a breed of horse.
Right.
But they call them cobs and colored cobs over there.
Cobs and colored cobs. I like them all. I don't care what they call them. I want 14 in my house.
Well, I like them all, too. And keep in mind, when we got our first one, I promised my husband if we got him, I would not ask for another one.
You see, that's what horsewomen do. They lie. They lie about that, knowing darn well that you were going to get another one. I know because I'm a horse husband, and I've had that happen to me.
We don't lie. We just discover. It's a process.
That's right.
It's a process.
We discover things that...
Each one is a process, and she has 35 now. She's had 35 processes over the years.
Well, Denise, did you start with gypsy horses, or were you into regular horses before?
I've had horses my whole life since I was 2, and I didn't start with gypsy horses. Over the years, I've had quarter horses, and I used to barrel race, and I had miniature horses and showed at the miniature shows. And when I got into the gypsies, I actually had a few draft crosses or spotted drafts. They're Percheron paint crosses.
Which are really cool, too. I'm a Percheron guy, and I love the Percheron paint crosses.
Yeah, you do. I'm like I said, I'm a sucker for some bling.
I know, I was just picking on you earlier.
But, the other thing that I like about the gypsy horses is that I like their conformation, because sometimes the draft horses, you see, they have this big body. They have a really big barrel and thick neck, and then their legs, they have nice big bone, but their legs are short. And I feel like that's a lot. It's hard for a body to work without that balance, but the gypsy horses seem to be a little bit more in proportion. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, I think so, too, and that proportionist makes them very agile. I mean, these guys excel in so many different disciplines. Like when you were talking to Courtney, her showing in hand. She shows in hand. She showed English with Diesel. She showed Western with them. She also did obstacle courses with him, and he's just at the beginning of his career. What she didn't mention is when he came into this barn mid-July, he had no training under saddle whatsoever. His previous owner had worked with him. He had never had a saddle on him. And she went in less than 60 days with this horse to her first High Point champion at her first show ever with him. It was his second time off of our farm.
Wow.
That says a lot for both the horse and for Courtney, too.
Yeah. Now, Courtney, give us an example of what a day is like for you with Diesel. Are you still in school?
Yeah, I go to Midstate, which is a technical college, at night, so I just take the night classes. But then I work during the day for Denise.
Okay, and so when you start your day, obviously there's a lot to do in a barn, but when you start your work day with Diesel, give us an idea of what you guys go through on any given day.
Just with Diesel?
Yeah.
Well, we brush him really good, and then I usually lunge him for a bit to make sure he's not super hyper when I get on him, which he usually isn't. He's been pretty lazy lately. And then we ride him for about 45 minutes to an hour every day.
Well, and she doesn't just ride. She actually works with him when she's riding him.
Yeah.
One of the things we notice with Courtney when she works with the horses, her focus is 100% on that horse. I mean, if you talk to her, you've got to ask her something 4 or 5 times before she even hears you. She's so focused on the horse, which is a good thing. And I think in turn, the horse gives her that same focus. She can read each horse very well. She seems to, because she works with more than just Diesel here on the farm. And every horse she works with, you can definitely see the difference in those animals.
Really? So the attention they're giving her, she's giving them the attention, and they're giving it right back. So she's establishing a one-to-one connection right away.
Very much so. And it's, like I said, it's very unique. Not, a lot of people can train horses. Not everybody can connect with the animal they're training.
Oh, okay. Let's go beyond the fact that she's a teenager and focusing for most teenagers is difficult in the first place, and now she's taking that to the next step with the horses.
Yes. Yes, Courtney just turned 18 in June.
You got lucky there, her showing up at your farm.
Very much so. We're very blessed to have
We're
her
talking
here.
about her, by the way, like she isn't here. I mean,
I know. Maybe she could do it.
No, see how smart she is, Glenn. You're not giving that teenage brain enough credit. She's just sitting back and letting us sing her praises. So she's a very bright young woman. And we tend to have we older folks tend to have a lot of respect for the younger generation who have that quietness and focus. There's a respect for the animal when you get on their back, and not everybody has it because everybody has different reasons, as to why they're in that saddle. But whatever your reasons are, when you can push that all aside and just listen to what that horse is telling you. There are people who've been doing this for years and years and years who can't do that. So we do. I don't care how old you are. I think that deserves respect from your peers. So, and it sounds to me like you get that respect from Denise.
now, Courtney,
Well,
do you have a specific trainer or somebody that you look up to their training technique?
I haven't had a trainer for about a year, but I've had several before me, and I learned a lot from Audrey Nuss, which was my previous trainer. So.
Is there any of the big, well-known clinicians and things that you look up to and you like?
I haven't really watched any of their techniques, so I don't really look up to anyone in specific. So I just look through their techniques and use whichever ones work best for me. So it's kind of a variation of everyone, more or less.
Which is really neat. Goes back into her reading the horse. She doesn't use like a one-size-fits-all method.
Right.
Each horse, she uses what works best for that horse. She reads into it, and it might be totally different than what she did with the horse the previous day or the horse that she rode just before the new one she got on. So
yeah.
you don't see that very often.
No, and there's a great book that I'm going to recommend, Courtney. It's called Dressage Training Customized. We talked about this on Stable Scoop. Remember, Glenn?
Yep.
On this show. And it's a book written by a German trainer, and it's fabulous, but it goes into detail about exactly what you do with these horses, is that everyone is unique. And it's a lot of fun. I mean,
Right.
it comes naturally to you, but some of the exercises and the things she points out with each, like the training scale, and I don't know. I think it would be a fun read for you. I think it'll be a fun read.
Yeah, I'll have to definitely check that out.
Well, we're going to take a quick break here for a commercial, and then we're going to be back. I want to find out what the future holds for Courtney and for Feathered Gold Stables, and we're going to do that in just a moment.
Regular listeners to the Stable Scoop Show know that Glenn and I just love Uncle Jimmy and his fantastic line of products. His products have the highest quality ingredients, and that's why they've taken off like they have. Of course, it all started with Uncle Jimmy's hanging balls for use in stalls, and then along came squeezy buns, my personal favorite. Now, we do know that you need to reward your horse outside of the stall as well, so Uncle Jimmy and his brain trust developed Uncle Jimmy's squeezy buns. Why are they my favorite? Because they're all natural, they're loaded with nutritional ingredients, they're individually wrapped, and they're squeezy. They're squeezy and squishy, and so you can break them up into little pieces for training. You can hide pills in them. You can put all kinds of medicines and unearthly things in their treats and feed them to your horse. Now, unlike similar products on the market, as I said, they're individually wrapped to preserve freshness, and that does another thing. It eliminates mess. Just open up your squeezy bun, toss the wrapper, and make your horse happy. With competitive pricing and Uncle Jimmy's quality guarantee, squeezy buns promise to be a hit among horses and horse lovers alike. You can go online to uncle-jimmys.com and find out more about squeezy buns, hanging balls, and all the rest of Uncle Jimmy's brand products.
All right, Courtney, what's the future hold for you? Now, you're now working for Denise, and she seems pretty happy with you. I don't think she's firing you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
I hope not.
So what's the future hold? What do you hope to do, and what do you hope to accomplish in your equestrian career?
Well, I have my own training barn in Stevens Point, and I hope to expand that and fill because I have an indoor arena right now with 8 stalls right now, so I hope to fill up that whole barn with more stalls and then add on a new indoor arena and train pretty much for the rest of my life is my goal.
And are gypsies your faves?
Yes, gypsies and Arabians are my favorite breeds. So.
Well, there you got two different mentalities from end to end.
Yeah, that covers the spectrum. How do you shift gears? How do you shift gears from one breed to the other?
I don't know. You just got to connect with the horse and really listen to him and figure him out. And it's a lot easier to switch then if you listen to the horse.
Good point. Good point. Well, we're going to be keeping an eye out for you, and I do hope. Something tells me you are going to be training horses for the rest of your life, and I hope that your relationship with Feathered Golds continues, because I think it's a nice fit. I think you guys are all lucky to have each other, and I really look forward to seeing more out of your neck of the woods.
Yes.
Okay, now back to the babies, because I was just Feathered
Don't
Gold.
go to the babies. He does this to me every time.
I just went to featheredgold.com. And I was there, and there's mares, and there's, geldings and stallions and stuff. But then you have to go to the babies. And my God, are they cute.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you gotta love the babies.
And yours seem to be all in the pretty much all in the black and white category. Are there any other colors for gypsies?
Yes, they are. And if you're on that full page now, Glenn, if you scroll down, you'll see we also have sorrel and white babies born here.
Oh, there's a brown
one. We have
one.
solid blacks. We've had a bay baby born here. The black and white are the most common because that's what they were breeding for more recently in Europe, so the genetics are there. But they do come in all colors.
Oh, my God. They're so freaking cute.
I know they are. You just want to hug them.
Oh,
I
my
could keep
God.
one of them in my studio right now.
And you know what it is? You know what it is? They stay cute when they're grown up. They have that same attraction. They pull you in, even as grown-ups. God. Now,
They do. And they have little kid personalities, too, like the personality of a child. You can see as each one grows and matures, the different personalities we have out there. One of them we call the playground leader. And it just... They're just really fun. We're there when they're born. We have cameras in the barn, and I'm there for every birth. And they're worked with daily from the minute they're born on through their whole future life with us until they go on to their new homes.
I have a favorite, Helena.
which one?
Flirt, the top one.
Oh, that's the playground leader, and she forces the little boys to be her playmates. When the boys won't play with Flirt, she goes and gets them and makes them play. And they won't eat when they're at the feeder. Flirt will shove their head into the feeder, the baby boys. And she's the youngest, Glenn.
Oh, she is so cute. And her mom is cute as a Dickens, too.
Flirt is my keeper for this year. I usually keep 1 or 2 a year, and I had promised my husband this year we weren't keeping any. See, back to those husband promises, Glenn.
There you go again.
Yeah, I know. And Flirt was the last one born. She was born June 2nd, and well, I sent my full announcements out. I have a group of people on email lists that are waiting for announcements and everything. And, well, around 9 days old, I talked to my husband. I said, I really can't sell her. I really would like to keep her. And all the other babies were already spoken for by that time. So I think he felt pretty good about that. So he said, if you really want to keep her, I said, okay.
I see another champion in the works here.
I think she might be. The way she carries herself, she's a very confident little lady, that's for sure.
What's interesting with Mom is she reminds me a lot of the one Percheron I had. When you look at the face and you look at the body, now not the mane.
Which one is this, Glenn?
Flirt's mommy. If you click on Flirt's picture, it'll take you to more pictures of Flirt.
Oh gosh, right. I was, yeah.
And then Flirt's mommy looks a lot like the last Percheron we had with the blaze and everything.
Well, that's better than what the hauler told me that brought Flirt's mom to us. He told me that her eyes and face reminded him of a girlfriend he had in high school. And he was serious, and that was the scary part.
Well, you know what?
And
she was a cute girl
looking at her with
blaze.
a fondness, too,
And she had big feet.
Oh, she had big feet.
So which is your favorite, Helena? Which is your favorite?
Romantic thriller.
Romantic thriller.
Yeah.
Romantic thriller is actually a half brother to Flirt. They have the same dad, Romantic Legend.
Oh, maybe it's the pictures of him underneath the trees and the I don't know. He's so cute.
He's fuzzy. He's a fuzzy one.
Oh.
Yeah, he's down in Texas now. He went there last October, and he showed at the Fort Worth World Gypsy Show during the stock show in the end of January, and he did very well. We flew down to help his family and watch the show. Very sweet boy.
He
was not a playground leader.
No, I have one that I think is the mischievous troublemaker, and that would be Majestic Dream.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It looks like the mischievous. You always get one of those, too.
Now, do you have, when you sell a baby, do you have recommended trainers? How do you help the new owners come up with a plan for their long-term career for these horses?
Well, we've had several families, actually, that have bought foals as their first horse or their first horse since, say, the age of 16. We have a couple in their 60s. And usually what I try to do is help them find somebody in their area. And I keep in contact with every family that we have ever sent a new horse to. If their trainer has questions, they're more than welcome to call me. A lot of the babies that have left here this year, their families are wanting to ship them back in 2 or 3 years from as far away as Nebraska, which is quite far, 900 miles, to have Courtney train them after they've seen her work with them. Because all the families get a photo CD as well as a DVD, a video of us working with babies so they can know what to do when they get them home, because not everybody has the luxury of coming to the farm and seeing their horse.
Right.
And so they've seen the interaction and all of that, and like I said, I'm always here for questions, whether it be, a day, a week, or I have people from 5-6 years ago that will call, not every day or anything, but a couple times a year and talk about different things and what's going on and if they need help with something, and it's really neat. I love getting pictures as they grow up, too.
Well,
that's always nice.
There's so many cool pictures on your website, too, and it's featheredgold.com. All right, the question everybody wants to know, and I'll leave it this, and you see if you're going to answer it, is so what's a gypsy baby run somebody, or if I have to ask, I can't afford it?
No, it actually depends. In the the market that we're in today, they're going for about $5,000 and up.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, no, that's cheaper than a Cadillac.
Well, and that's one of the things. Us as a breeder, when we bought our first horse in 2004, we bought Mo when he came over from Europe. One of the goals when we decided to breed was to get more of the gypsies over here. Of course, we're breeding for conformation, and personality is our number one goal. But was to get enough over here where people can buy within the U.S. You don't have the import cost and the shipping and all that, and make these more affordable and get them out there for more people to enjoy, because they are a great horse.
Well, and that's what's going to propagate the breed, too.
Definitely.
And keep it going. Well, this is terrific. Thank you both so much for coming on the show with us. We really appreciate it. And Courtney, congratulations.
Thank you.
Sounds like you have a terrific career ahead of you, and I really like the fact, too, that you are going to college, because the other side of having a career as a trainer and a horse person full-time is that you need to understand the finances and the business operation side of it as well.
Yes.
So
I think you'll go far.
I'm glad you're doing that.
Yes, we'll keep our eyes out for you.
Well, that was fun. Courtney, she seems so nervous, but she seems like that kind of person that's quiet and thoughtful, and I can see what she was saying about her having a connection with the horses.
Some people are just more comfortable on horseback than in front of a microphone.
Yeah, and she just seemed to, definitely has the touch.
She's in the right place.
Yep, definitely. All right, we have a Tack and Habit product coming up next.
All horses have individual nutritional needs, and we know that meeting them can be challenging. It doesn't matter if you're a professional horseman or a weekend warrior, you want to provide the nutrition necessary for your horse to thrive. Well, Kentucky Performance Products has the products to help your horse. Horses who consume limited grass due to a busy competition schedule or because of diet restrictions might not be getting enough natural vitamin E. Horses in rigorous training, seniors, broodmares, and stallions often require additional levels of vitamin E to meet their needs. When you supplement with natural vitamin E, choose Elevate Maintenance Powder. Yes, that's from KPP. It's affordable, it's effective, and it's research proven. Elevate Maintenance Powder's vitamin E is nature's most powerful antioxidant, which protects your horse at the cellular level. That's where it all happens. You can get Elevate Maintenance Powder and all of their terrific products at kppusa.com. That's Kentucky Performance Products at kppusa.com.
Well, today we're going to talk to you about, we talked once before about the Techniche line of products. Do you remember that?
I do.
And they're great winter products to keep you warm, like jackets and things like that are made to keep you warm. They have special technology. Well, there were some new products that had come out, and we wanted to make sure that you heard about them. So this is a recording from the ADA conference, actually the last one we have to do from the ADA conference. And I think it was Jamie and I who were on this one, Jamie Jennings of the Morning Show. So here is the Techniche products. All right, this is Glenn, and I am here at the ADA show, and we are doing another product highlight here for the Tact and Habit segment. And I am with Leslie from Techniche, who I believe we've spoken to before, but we have some new products to talk about today.
That was back in January when we talked about the cooling products. Now we're going to talk about our warming products for wintertime.
Yeah, it is getting to be that time of year.
Oh, yeah. Even though it's 100 degrees outside, we have to think about wintertime.
And I do hate winter. I'm one of those guys that likes to be warm, so this is a good thing.
Yes, I live down in Houston, so my winter is only 6 weeks long, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I wish ours was only 6 weeks long. So now tell us about the products that you have here.
Today we have the Thermofur heating vest. It goes with the air-activated warmers. There are special pockets that are sewn on the inside of the vest, and then you insert the warmers inside.
And what are the vests made out of?
Polar fleece. It's got a part of a soft shell on the top part. The rest of it is the polar fleece, and it has zippered pockets. So when you put your car keys or your phone in, they're not going to go flying out during your ride. So that's always handy. There's pockets in the front and the back, so you insert the warmers. The body warmers that fit in last for 20 hours, and they heat up to 137 degrees.
And these are the kind, everybody's familiar with them. They're little plastic packets, and they say warmer on them.
Right.
And, they sell versions of these elsewhere. But you have something unique about yours that I didn't know.
Oh, I have some little tricks that work great with them. With the Thermofur vest, if you put all of the warmers in, that is going to be one seriously hot vest. So if you have a Ziploc bag in your pocket, that can act as your temperature regulator. If you get too hot, you take out some of the warmers, put it in the Ziploc bag, get the air out, close it up. That will stop that reaction that's causing the heat. So you can use the warmer again later, and it will also help cool your vest down. So it's a way of you being able to regulate the temperature in the vest.
See, I didn't know that you could stop the reaction in these. And then I didn't know that if you've only used it for an hour and it's a 5-hour one, that you can put it in the plastic bag and then come back later and get your other 4 hours.
Yeah, it'll work somewhat. It takes time. You have to make sure you get all the air out. It's one of those little tricks that you do. It will help. So it's not just a quick one-time throwaway thing. It's sort of extending the use. And the body warmers are 20 hours plus. So if you're only at the barn for 6 hours, have that Ziploc bag, pop it in there, zip it up, and you can use it again the next day. So you're not wasting your money.
That's pretty cool. And I must say that these jackets are attractive.
Yes, the fleece is so nice. It's one of those, you get it and you go, ooh, ooh.
It is nice. It's soft.
You want to cuddle up in it.
Yeah.
And the great thing,
and they're stylish. They're not ugly.
Oh, no. And you
which
can
a lot of them are.
And you can wear them anywhere. I mean, there's different color choices. The zippers are very heavy duty. They stay zipped up. They don't start falling down during your ride, or you have to keep zipping the zipper up in the pocket so your keys or phone don't fall out. And what I love about it is this vest works to warm you. It's not just another layer of clothing you have on. You can slim down when you go to the barn now in the wintertime. You don't have to wear 10 layers. You can wear, just a couple in this vest, and you're good to go. It works just as hard as you do.
And I do like how it looks. I think it's a good addition, and more importantly for all of us right now is they're affordable.
Oh my gosh, yes! This vest MSRP on it is $49.99. So it's
and how much will the little packets? Does it come with little packets?
When you order a product, depending on if it's the scarf, the vest, the gloves, it comes with a certain amount of packets. And at the different websites that we have our products in, we have it set up where you can buy portions of packets, like they come in a 10-pack. So you can order extra packs depending on how much you use them or how frequently you are.
Right.
But ours last longer and work, to me, better because I've tried them against the quickie dollar ones at Target or Walmart that you find in the dollar bin. I think these work better and longer.
Now, do you? I heard that you did say that you have a lot of people from Alaska that use these because we have riders in Alaska, believe it or not, and then you also have motorcyclists in Alaska. And I'll tell you what, if you're motorcyclists, first of all, if they're riding in the winter up there, they're nuts.
Yeah.
But
So I live in Texas.
but they do use them, right?
Oh, yeah. This is any cold weather climate. It's not just for riding. You do anything outside in cold weather, you're taking this with you. They even have a heated seat cushion. It's a stadium cushion with 2 pockets that you put the warmers in. Yeah, if you go and you
Football.
show. Oh, yeah. And they have a 4x6 stadium blanket that it's got the pockets. So now you can wrap yourself up, especially for the show moms and dads who go there to watch and they're freezing. You can sit on a nice warm seat cushion and have that nice blanket wrapped around you.
Oh, that's cool.
Or throw it over whoever's riding. They're in their show coat. They're not bundled up. Throw that blanket around them. They're good to go.
All right, and then there was another vest that you had me try on.
Yes, that's the Ion Gear battery-powered heating vest. This is what, if you live in super cold climates, this is the vest for you. It has 5 temperature settings. It starts off at 86 degrees.
People, what we're talking about here is like the thermostat on your wall.
Oh, yeah.
You can set the temperature that you want your vest to be.
Yes. And
Because it's battery-powered.
It's battery-powered, and the battery lasts for a long time, and you charge it like you do your cell phone. It starts off at 86 degrees. That's at level 1, and the battery will last for 12 hours. And it can go all the way up to level 5, which is 158 degrees, and that lasts 4 hours. And that's for the people in Alaska who ride their motorcycles. Because
who else would want to be at 158 degrees?
You're well done at 158
exactly.
degrees. You're little things
Yeah,
will
you're
pop
at least medium rare, medium well.
You're cooked. But down in Texas, I live in this vest, and the highest I've ever had it is a level 2, and that was 104 degrees.
Now, the one thing I noticed when I picked it up was the battery seemed somewhat heavy to me, but then you said put it on, so I put it on.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, because it's distributed around your body, the battery didn't seem as heavy.
It disappears.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm riding a 4th level dressage horse, and he's a very big mover. And I had it on, and I was worried that the battery would flop around. Not at all. You put the vest on, it disappears. The weight of it disappears, and you're good to go. And the shell on the vest is wind and water resistant, so you're not going to pick up all of the dirt and the horsehair and hay from the barn. If it's windy, it's going to block it. If it's raining or snowing, your outer layer is not going to get soaking wet. And the temperature controls on it are very quick to react. If you get too warm, all you do is you unzip it, kind of puff the jacket or your vest out to get the hot air out, and then you turn it down a notch, you zip it back up, and you're good. And within 5 minutes, it's going to be at the lower temperature or the higher temperature. It's very
just
quick
like
to
your
react.
oven.
Oh yes, it's not like the heating pad, or you have those hot spots.
Yeah.
You just realize you're not cold anymore. And it's sort of like, oh gosh, yes, thank you. And you never take it off.
Do you make the pants that go with it too?
No, unfortunately we don't. And I'm dying to go, do we have socks in this? Because my toes get cold. But then we have the air-activated toe warmers that have the double-sided sticky tapes.
I have those right in my hand here, and they look like little tiny insoles for your toes.
They're great. You put these on. You put these in your boots with the tape, and it stays where you put it, so you don't have the toe warmer going back into the arch of your foot and baking your arch, or going down into your heel. So when you're riding, it feels so uncomfortable and has you off balance. It stays up at your toes where you want it to be.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And you also have other products Techniche does for the winter time. You have the gloves, which you can put the warmers in as well in the back of them.
Right. We have 2 types of gloves. We have the Thermofer gloves that work off the heat packs, and then we also have some battery-powered heating gloves. So we have, the 2 different types
now,
of technology.
Would they be heavy with the battery in it?
Not really. They're longer. They come about 6 inches past your wrist, and they have the tie where you can tighten it around your wrist, and the battery is up on the part that's up on your arm. So that's on there, and it's not heavy or bulky. It doesn't flop around.
Now, you said there have been people. These gloves seem to be a little bit bigger and puffier to me.
Yes.
Like these are serious winter gloves. Even without the heat packs, they're serious winter gloves.
For my little wimpy Houston gloves, I wear the little isotoner no nothing gloves.
Yeah.
And that's as thick as I ever go. I put these on, and I'm like, gosh, they're huge.
Yeah.
But I've had some U.S. Pony Club people up in Michigan ride in them in the wintertime, and they said they rode in them, and it was... they had a great time.
They needed them in Michigan.
Yeah. I mean, in their climate, if you're used to wearing the thicker gloves, it's not a problem. But
and they have the leather palms and the fingers so that you can grip your reins and everything.
It's all reinforced, and they're waterproof. So there's no having wet hands, wet fingers if you're out in the snow or anything like that. Your hands aren't going to go, start freezing.
Well, you guys definitely know cooling and heating. That's your job.
Oh, we have the climate control clothing that will solve any problem you have. And that's what I love about it.
Where can people find it and buy it?
Equestrian Collections has all of our products. The Thermofer line is the air-activated warmers, and then the Ion Gear is the battery-powered line.
Okay, so that's at equestriancollections.com. And do you have a website for Techniche?
Techniche-intl.com.
Okay. Well, as I said, that's the last recording we had from the Ada show. So next week, I know you have a product that you want to talk to us about. So we'll have a new one next week from Helena. Hey, if you think you know, and we've been getting a lot more of these, if you think that you know somebody that'd make a good guest, or you think you would make a good guest on the show, then just drop us an email. Just send it to Helena at horseradionetwork.com, and we'll take a look at the possibility of getting you on the show. So if you've got a story to tell, if you've got something cool, if you have neat horses, or whatever the story is, let us know, and we'd love to talk to you about getting you on the show as a guest. And be sure to log in to stablescoop.com and check out the website, because that's where you can find links and photos. And we're going to have the photos of Diesel up there, so you can see Courtney and Diesel, the picture that we were talking about all day. And, of course, don't forget about our Facebook page. You can find us at Stable Scoop on Facebook.
Many thanks to our sponsors, Equestrian Collections, Uncle Jimmy's Brand Products, and, of course, Kentucky Performance Products. Don't forget, visit all the great shows on the Horse Radio Network by visiting horseradionetwork.com.
Hey, check out the Western Radio Show this week. They did a whole show on chuck wagons and chuck wagon competitions.
Oh, cool.
You didn't know that they were still having chuck wagon cooking competitions, did you? When I heard about that, I thought, that's something Peter would be good at.
Oh, gosh.
He'd love that, cooking over the coals. He would love that, and big cast iron pans.
I think he would like a Gypsy Vanderhorse more.
That's it for this week, Alina.
That is plenty, Glenn. We will see you, or we will hear you, or you will hear us next week.